Mercy is a 2026 American science fiction thriller film directed by Timur Bekmambetov, starring Chris Pratt and Rebecca Ferguson. The plot involves a detective, Pratt, who is accused of murdering his wife and must prove his innocence to an artificial intelligence judge, Ferguson. In a futuristic Los Angeles with crime on the rise, the Mercy Capital Court uses artificial intelligence judges to put defendants on trial for violent crimes. The AI judges give the defendants all available resources to find and provide all the evidence needed and are given 90 minutes to prove their innocence or be executed via a sonic blast. This is the world Bekmambetov constructs, and for the first 10 minutes of Mercy, it is genuinely unnerving. The surveillance architecture is not science fiction. It is tomorrow's infrastructure described in yesterday's breathless marketing language. The screenplay by Marco Van Bell raises legitimately disturbing questions about our utter lack of privacy in today's world of social media profile sharing, surveillance cameras, citizen journalists wielding smartphones, Gemini, ChatGPT, body cams, and so on. Every doorbell, every drone, every Ring camera feeds into a unified municipal cloud. The Mercy Court acts as judge, jury, and executioner. Chris will have the city's municipal cloud at his disposal, giving him access to every camera, cell phone, and database. There's a handy on-screen guilty meter that displays the probability that Chris committed the crime, and right now it's in the high 90s. He has 90 minutes to get that number below 92%, or he will be executed on the spot. Maddox contends that there's a 97.5% chance that Chris offed his spouse, and she grants him an hour and a half to lower that percentage below the 92% guilty threshold. What this means in practice is that Chris frantically questions his buddies and scrutinizes on-screen material in the hope of spying something out of place. Chris's investigation is hampered because he was wasted at a local tavern in the hours just after the crime was committed, got into a nasty barroom brawl, and then blacked out, only to regain consciousness after he was arrested and strapped into that chair. He doesn't have a lawyer. He has his wits, his detective's training, a hangover, and the entire surveillance infrastructure of Los Angeles piped directly to a screen in front of him. It is an unusually democratic version of hell. The evidence against Raven looks damning. He has a drinking problem. He has a documented temper. Earlier that night, he violently resisted arrest at a bar. A home security camera captures him entering the house minutes before Nicole is stabbed. From a probability standpoint, Mercy's case seems airtight. But from a justice standpoint, it feels reckless. Raven does not have a lawyer. He is severely hungover. His only advantage is that he is a police officer with friends who can help from the outside. As the clock ticks, Chris begins systematically dismantling the evidence against him and reassembling it around other figures. Early suspicion falls on Holt, a colleague with murky connections to Nicole, before the investigation pivots dramatically when a name surfaces from the case files: Rob Nelson. Suspecting Holt may have killed Nicole, Chris tries to contact Rob. Holt instead answers the phone and he explains that Rob is responsible for the missing chemicals. Chris reviews his daughter Britt's social media posts, which reveal that a stranger had been hiding in their basement since the barbecue. His neighbor's security cameras display a rustling in the bushes, and Rob is seen exiting the neighbor's trunk in parking lot surveillance footage. Rob is not merely a suspect, he is a man with a specific and devastating grievance. The SWAT team arrives at Rob's house, finding it empty, but they uncover stolen chemicals and detailed plans to craft a bomb. Maddox discovers that Rob's brother David Webb was the first person Mercy Court executed, and Chris realizes that Rob is orchestrating revenge against him and the court. This is where the film's architecture sharpens. Rob is not a simple villain. Rob murdered Nicole, but his motivation is not cruelty. It is strategy. He knows police will shoot him before he reaches the Department of Justice building. The explosives in the Viking truck are meant to destroy the Mercy data center. Britt is leverage. She prevents intervention. Rob does not intend to escape. He intends to permanently end the system. From his perspective, this is not terrorism, it is correct. If Mercy Court exists, more innocent people will die. Destroying it becomes, in his mind, a moral act. Chris confronts Rob and they fight until Chris is able to disarm Rob. Chris prepares to kill Rob, but Britt and Maddox talk him down. Jack shoots Rob, who proclaims that David was innocent of the murder he was executed for, as Rob was on the phone with David at the time of the victim's death. Maddox retrieves footage that confirms this. And then the film delivers its real revelation. It is revealed that Jack dumped David's phone, which would have been enough evidence to exonerate David in an effort to prove mercy's efficacy. Jack and Rob are both taken into custody. As Britt reconciles with Chris, Maddox shuts off and Chris's case is dismissed. To understand why this matters, we need to understand what Jack's action actually means. The investigation reveals that Jack destroyed David Webb's phone to guarantee a conviction. Her motivation mirrors Chris's earlier mindset. She believed Mercy Court worked and removed doubt, thereby protecting society. She did not intend to kill an innocent man, she intended to help justice. This is the film's most genuinely disturbing idea, buried in its final act. The wrongful execution of David Webb was not the result of a malfunctioning AI, it was the result of a human being, a true believer, deciding that the system needed to succeed badly enough to justify corrupting it. The film complicates blame. Rob murdered Nicole, Jack caused David's execution, Chris created the system, Maddox carried out the sentence. Responsibility spreads across human decision-making. This leads to the film's final philosophical question. If a machine executes an innocent person, who committed the murder? The programmer, the officer, the data provider, or the society that demanded certainty? The film's answer, or rather its refusal to give a clean one, is its most honest moment. Mercy refuses a simple answer. Maddox made the judgment, but every human around it shaped the information. As for the system itself, Bill Peterson's neighbor's backyard motion camera captured Rob leaving the house. But a network outage prevented the AI from retrieving it before the trial. Mercy Court's flaw becomes clear. It does not fail because it is malicious, it fails because it is incomplete. And an incomplete system with irreversible punishment is indistinguishable from injustice. The machine shuts down. The system is discredited. Chris solves the mystery and proves his innocence, but the victory feels hollow. The real trial was not about Nicole's murder. It was about Chris confronting the consequences of his belief that justice must always be immediate. The film's final idea is uncomfortable. Justice is not designed to eliminate mistakes. It is designed to slow them down. Mercy Court promised perfect decisions. The legal system promises careful ones. Chris once saw caution as weakness. Now he recognizes it as protection.